Hi everybody, Mother Jamie here with a brief message brought to you by the cats and the dogs. It is Sunday, March the 29th. Gosh, I can barely even keep track of the days of the week these days, much less the date, but Sunday, March 29th, 2020. And, typically, or back in the day, we used to think of Sunday as the day of rest, and we've gotten away from that. But the dogs and the cats have joined forces to bring you the message today, to express to you in no uncertain terms that it is okay to rest. Even if Sunday is not your traditional rest day, no matter what the rhythm of your life is like, you are bound to be tired, and that is okay. And so Eddie and Gus and Tiny and Zippy want you to know, and they are modeling for you what rest looks like. Again, I don't know where Dyson is. I hope he'll be the feature of the next video. Think about it this way. It's the heat of summer. It's a bazillion degrees. You get into your hot car and you crank the air conditioning, and you got to get your car onto the interstate. Think about how much more power it takes for your car to accelerate when all of that energy is being pulled by the air conditioning unit. Think of the difference between trying to accelerate when you're blasting the air conditioning on a hot day versus in the evening when you're not running the air conditioning. You just zip onto the interstate. You accelerate very quickly. You feel like your car is loaded with juice and ready to go. Well, it's the same way with us. If you are one of those people whose work really hasn't changed, like my husband Bo. Now, Bo is the only person I've ever met my whole entire life who seems to have no existential angst whatsoever. I mean, he just doesn't. I don't know. I'm loaded with it. I don't know how he escaped it. But anyway, he simply took everything that was in his cubicle, his 2 monitors and keyboard and docking station and all that, brought it home, set it up in the home office, and he's good to go. And he works the same 8 to 5, and he stops for a lunch hour, and very little's changed. But then there's people like me, on the other hand, non-essential people, where suddenly everything I do has come to a stop, and I've got to, I have to figure out all how to be a priest and a pastor in the midst of this, which is why I'm doing these videos. But regardless of whether you're one of those people who's continuing to work the way you always have, or whether you're like me and suddenly your daily life is kind of upended, we're all bound to be more tired. Because just like the air conditioning working so hard on a hot day, our psyches, our emotions, our spirits, all of that is working very hard to process what's going on. There's many articles out there written by psychologists and other experts talking about how in a time of anxiety and fear, that part of our brain where fight or flight or freeze is engaged. There's articles about how we are experiencing grief right now. There are articles about the anxiety and the fears that are higher, at higher levels for us right now. And so regardless of whether we are even consciously aware of how stressful this abrupt change in the daily life of society is, it's manifesting itself in our brains. And consequently, it's going to take more energy for us to do what we normally do. So if you're like me and you've suddenly felt overwhelmed by simple things like trying to get a handle on the email inbox, or if you are fretting about how you're supposed to be working and whether that's tied into fears about whether on the other side of this you'll still have the work that you had before it started, or whether you're just simply tired and you don't know why. I think that's to be expected. And so the dogs and the cats want you to know that it's important for you to be gentle with yourself. It's okay to rest. It's okay to set your expectations of what you hope to accomplish on any given day, maybe a little bit lower. And just recognize that nothing really is flowing normally right now. And so take a deep breath, rest and relax. Do whatever it is that calms you, restores you, connects you to joy, laughter, love. Do all those things. Maybe be intentional about doing them a little bit more. And we'll all get through this together. Until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and stay connected through the bonds of love. Bye-bye now.